I think she came back maybe twice because she came back to refill the bottles. She went away and came back over time. So the second
was
time,
I when she would come back? Was I hitting on her?
nope.
No, she's my target. She is my legit in that restaurant. She's my target as the employee. I don't have any other targets outside of her there. Okay, so she's been chosen by me as that's the girl I'm gonna get one day. Like I know it. She's in a relationship right now. When she came back, was I reacting when she was talking to the other guys?
Nope.
Was I aware of it? 100%. I can even tell you the conversations each guy had with her. I'm listening. Everything is information for me, just so you know. I act like I don't know. I know exactly where my target is. I know exactly who's talking to her. I know exactly who's hitting on her. I know who's not hitting on her. She's open, because I've said she's open, right? I haven't made out with her or nothing. And I want that. That makes my game tighter and stronger. May the best man get her. And I swear on everything I have, if anybody gets her, hands off, congratulations to you. Why? Because I'm not in scarcity. I have a lot of women, and damn, good job. You know what I mean? It's not a problem. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. But I'm also not a fucking idiot either. I pay attention to what's going on. Okay? You shall get the respect that you give around me. Keep that in mind when you're around me. You get that, right? There will come a day where you have a target, and you might wonder why I'm being so friendly with her. Maybe because you are being friendly with my target. She's still open, right? And then there might come a day where you have a target and I don't even look at her or talk to her. And you wonder, how come you doesn't like her? No, because I also remember how you were acting when I was around. You see that? Just know that about me. Just know that about me. It's important. I'm the leader. You need to know that, right? I'm not a pussy. I'm not a pushover. And in fact, if anything like that, I'm ruthless as a motherfucker. And you know that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Okay? But for the good guys. We're for the good guys. So keep that in mind, because I'm aware every time she comes around. I'm aware every time she leans over to pour that water. I can tell you where she went by Fernando, when she went between you. I can tell you when she went by Cloton. I can tell you which one. I can tell you the conversations you guys had. I can tell you when you ignored her. I can tell you these things.
Yeah.
You remember when you ignored her on purpose? Yeah. When she was to your right?
Yeah. Like she was touching, kind of like nudging.
Yep. I was aware that he ignored her, but it looks like I'm in. No, I know my target. I mean, if you're a lion, you're gonna know where the gazelle is, right? Because you're looking for that moment. Okay, so be aware of that, because nobody is registering that about me. I know that for sure, especially her, because the mistake you guys are gonna make is when your target comes around, suddenly it's all about the target. Suddenly it's all about the target. Okay, or your target is talking to somebody else, suddenly you're trying to jump in, or you're listening too much. That's not how you play this game. You play this game completely differently. Okay, so there's a little piece that I haven't said before, but hey, we're all growing. Zay, go ahead.
Hell yeah. So she came back around the second time. At that point, you hooked her in with conversation. That's all I could say. I couldn't really hear because the music was so loud. But you know, the next best thing to watch for is body language. So before you went up to her to show her something, y'all were just like talking from a distance. And like her reactions were like authentic and genuine, because like when she starts laughing big and putting her mouth like this, like that means something, obviously. You know, something good. And then eventually you stand up to show her something, and then maybe in a few minutes y'all are already sitting down next to each other.
Wait, she came and sat down. Yeah. So at some point, do you know that prior to that, she said something that sounded like an IOD? Do you recall that? It surprised everybody what she said. So Tom, what did she say? Because I know when she said it, everybody was like, what? How's AZ going to handle this? Okay, what did she say that tightened up everyone's ass?
Yeah, she said, you look, she's like, you look tense.
Okay, pause. Pause. She says to me, you look tense. Are you okay tonight? I said, yeah, I'm good. She goes, are you sure you're okay? I'm sorry, what did you say?
You look different. You seem different, but like it was negative. It was not a positive.
It wasn't positive. Like you seem different. I said, okay, well, why do you say that? Do I not look okay? And she goes, you seem tense. Pause. Now, the first person that came to my mind when she said that was Sultan. Have you been told that before on set or no?
Yes, either that word or something very
similar. Yeah, because I swear, when she said it, he popped up in my mind. He was sitting to my right. But I'm sharing my mind with you guys. You understand? That's you have to understand how it works here. So she said that. I thought about him.
Crazy.
Yeah. Then I thought about the group. And I was like, this is that moment that everyone's about to learn something. How to handle this moment. Because if you don't handle it right, it starts to go downhill. Okay? So just before all that, she said to me, you look tense. All right, what do you remember about that? What did you feel when she said that? What did you think?
The first thing that came to my mind is like, okay, this is a Shrek test, obviously.
Mhm.
So now it's time to see how AZD's about to flip this.
You did think that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
100%.
What did you think when she said that?
I mean, obviously, I knew you were gonna handle it. Like, I didn't think like, oh wow, this is.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was totally surprised.
I was surprised.
But I could also see like, because we're different. Like, we're not the same. Like, she's right. We are different. I mean, you are different,
Absolutely.
but not like how the fuck she was saying it. Like, that's wrong. Like, you're different. Like, she was trying to make it a negative thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I felt. I mean, it made me fucking nervous for sure. I was like, what the fuck? Because I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Just maybe not that exact word, but something very
similar. That
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah.
Right? Like, are you okay? You seem a little tense.
I feel like she said that to me. I was like, what the fuck? Am I tense?
It came up to my mind. Okay, so just so you know, prior to that, she throws out this little thing. Okay, what do you recall about the handling of it?
So when she said that, you're just kind of like what? But not like there was never an irritated, annoying, or angry tone.
Mhm.
It was.
I did say something that was really, really interesting. Who remembers what I said?
You said, then she said, because after she said you're different, and you're like, I am different.
But what else? When I say it, it's so funny that it skips their mind. Who remembers? Because it was so out of this world what I said next.
Fuck, bro, I had it. And I left.
Anybody remember from last night what I said in that moment?
What about me is different?
No.
I questioned her, but it wasn't that. It was something that I said that I'm about to say, and everybody remember it. Okay, you ready? I go like this. You know what's different? I decided not give these hosts. Hey, my words.
Revolution. That's what it was.
My words.
Oh man, yeah.
To give these hoes no more attention.
Yeah.
She goes, huh? Excuse me? Or something like that. I said, I'm gonna stop giving hoes so much attention. You have to earn this shit from me.
You said bitches.
Bitches and then hoes. I use both words. But I'm talking about her.
Yeah. And she kind of like was like, whoa, like she didn't expect that. And then because it seemed like it was about to get really like tense. Actually, that was when it was gonna get tense.
Yep.
And then you're like, you kind of just played off like, I'm just fucking like you just like,
what's up? You know what I mean? Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop giving these hoes some attention. You gotta earn my attention now. I'm gonna stop giving these bitches my attention. Shit ain't for free anymore. Back to the first moment I ever used mystery method in my life. The first words I ever used, you've heard me, was in Hooters, me saying that to the waitress. And when I said that, it took me right back to the moment where I'm sitting in front of Taco Robot saying that moment. And I was like, whoa, what a trip. And I wasn't planning that, obviously, right? It's like throwing a fucking move in martial arts that you haven't thrown in like fucking 12 years, where you're like, oh, fuck. That was like the first thing I ever did, the first move I ever did on this game, right? So this moment happens. Then she comes around, and I get up, I go, I gotta show her something. He's next to me, so next to me, and I get up and I hand her my phone, right? I say, look at this. Now, what did I show her? Question. Because that resulted in something. She's working, right? What happened after I gave her my phone?
Sat down, right? Yeah, she came. She's like, she asked you. She's like, may I sit down?
She says, can I sit down? While she's holding my phone. Now, this is not that they don't sit down. They do sit down, but not like this.
Nah,
they sit down for a second and take your order, but they don't come around and sit down the way she did. She'd have to sit where Sultan was sitting and come inside the table, right? So she's holding my phone. She says, can I sit down? I was like, yeah, come sit down. So now she's sitting with us, holding my phone and reading. Now the question is, or looking, what did I show her? That's the secret here. Any ideas? Anybody on set? Anybody see it? Anybody have any idea? What was on my phone? Yes.
It was the sigil.
The sigil. Is that a guess or is that
No,
you
I
saw?
I saw your phone.
You saw it. Did you see it?
No, but I think I heard you say it. Sigil. Sigil.
Yeah, Will, what do you think?
Yeah, I heard you say it. You said sigil.
Sigil. It was the sigil that TL created. Look how this thing works. Look at how I know how to use that. So first I show her the sigil. Then, you remember that thing I wrote on the sigil? First I show her the sigil. I say, look at this. And then I go, ready? Now read this. That's when she looks at it, reads the first paragraph or the first sentences. She goes, can I sit down to read it? I said, yeah. So she sits down. And now what am I doing? I'm using my language. And she's now getting it. She's about to get what my real ability in this thing is, language, right? So she sits down and she reads this whole thing that it's on my Instagram. Go look at it. That's what it is, right? You guys know you guys reposted it. So look at how I'm gaming the 10. Now I want you to just compare that for a second to what you know of game, how you get a girl and she's super hot and she's got a boyfriend and we're in an environment like it's a whole thing. She's sitting down now reading my writing. That's a spell with a sigil, so made it even more powerful. If that's not magic, then you go tell me what magic is, because I'm showing you what magic actually is. This is the definition of it. Look at what just happened. There is the sigil, there's the spell. Boom. And now things are about to change in the set. Okay, so what do I remember from here?
So as soon as you guys sat down, at that point, I couldn't hear what you guys were talking about or what you guys were saying. And I didn't want to make it awkward by just like sitting there and watching. So obviously I'll turn to the guys and talk story.
Yeah.
But then there came a point where you stopped me and then you basically was having her ask where everybody's from.
This is part of my routine. When I'm with IMC Nation, these guys now know. I did it a while ago organically, but I saw the effect of it. It's a very powerful thing to say, all of us come from different parts of the United States and the world. Do you want to see? Watch this. And it also allows everyone to speak to her, allows my target to look and measure everyone. And if your group is strong and sharp, you want that. You understand? It's a whole dynamic that I kind of like, I merge with my group and then I disconnect with the group. And I just go like this. Cygnus, where are you from? Right? And what did you say when I asked you that?
I'm from Hawaii, the south side.
Okay, that's a DHV. Did you feel the DHV when you said it?
Yeah.
Hawaii is a DHV. You guys got to know this stuff. If you're from Hawaii, you say Hawaii. If you're from Miami, you say Miami. If you're from Atlanta, you say Atlanta. If you're from South Central, you say South Central. If you're from Chicago, you say Chicago. You got to know where you're coming from. If you're from Wyoming, you don't say Wyoming. You find out whether Wyoming is north, south, east, or west of the United States. You go, I'm from southern United States. I'm from north United States. You find the right words to say. You see that? Okay, so now I go through each person. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, and each person now says where they're from. Now I want you to be a woman, and everything we do, it's awaken the beast, right? It's primal. This is primal game. In God I trust. There we go. So in the genetics, that's from yesterday's advanced class. In the genetics, this girl is in my tribe now. And I'm about to show her the power of this tribe. This person comes from the Amazon. This person comes from that land. This person comes from that land. This person, but look at how we're tied around each other all the time. What the fuck? We are everywhere. This is a power. This is different. Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, we're a worldwide game. Okay, go ahead.
From there, man, the only thing I remember is as time was moving forward, like you all started getting closer and closer to a point where you had your arm on the chair like this, and y'all were facing directly towards each other. You know,
I'm going to show you guys a few videos. Sultan took a few videos of this last night, just so you kind of see what she looks like and a few moments of it. I mean, these aren't, it was for a while, but it'll give you an idea. A little Crystalia here. One. Yeah, one more. Okay, now I got a visual. That's pretty, huh?
yeah.
I was thinking right there, like to be like, hey, I'm gonna take a picture of you guys, but I didn't.
I'm glad you didn't say it.
Okay, good.
She was aware. I was aware she was aware.
She was aware. Yeah, I saw her look up at some point
Yeah.
too. But I figured, I mean, I don't know.
Flash, bro.
Huh?
Yeah, and it flashed too. But that's good. Don't ask.
I'll do
next
the
time.
flash on purpose.
You on purpose you did.
Yeah, I don't know if that was right or not. I mean,
I don't care. I just didn't care. I wanted. It was like a test to see where she's at with it for me, and
Yeah.
she was fine with the whole thing. So that was like, it was like a next level of like, okay, where are we? And so I, went through my mind, but it's such fast calibration. It's like, how do you calibrate when you're fighting or skiing or fucking driving? It's like you just know, right? So I was aware of it. It went through my mind too. I checked with her. It looked like she was like, I'm okay with this. Almost like liked it. So all right, right on. Go ahead.
And yeah, there was a point where y'all just started facing each other, and at that point, it was y'all were just probably connecting on different levels, man. Like
This is the first time she sat down or the second time now? What do you remember?
this was the second time.
So there's a second time. So the first time she sits down.
Yeah.
And then she goes back to work. Everybody got that? We're back into our interaction. And then she comes up. As you notice, she had a different outfit the second time, right? At the end, she comes up with a jacket on. What happens here?
Y'all sit down.
She says, I'm leaving.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that part.
She says, I'm leaving. She got off work. Okay? Bye. I'm saying bye, I'm leaving. Oh, okay. Where you going? Going home, blah, blah, blah. Good. You want to sit down? Okay. Boom. Now, the employees are gonna have to register this, everybody. She's off work, she clocked out, she's in her jacket, now she's sitting down with us. The second time now is where my arm is around, not her, but on the chair, but she's inside of it, okay? And now there comes a point where our bodies are now doing this. So you saw that little video? Somebody in that environment was very aware of her, whichever guy's been trying to get at her, whichever coworker. Imagine working with her, right? The girls that work with her, everyone is aware. So I'm not gonna get love from the guys, but I'm gonna get the goddamn fucking respect from everybody. So they're now observing this. And now she's sitting down after work, and now we're facing each other and having a much more connected conversation. It looks like it, and it is, right? What else do you remember?
It was like a private bubble, man. So there was a point where I was talking to the guys again, and then when I look back, like she was wiping her eyes, and I was in my head, I was like, she crying? Like
Was she?
It looked like she was.
Was she?
Bawling her eyes out,
She
bro.
was bawling. She starts crying. Who saw it? Will, were you close enough to see her crying?
No, I didn't see her crying.
Sultan, did you see it?
yeah, I saw her crying like as she was leaving. I saw her. I didn't see her in the beginning, but I saw her. She was like leaving. I could see her face
I saw the-
teary.
You saw her bawling, right?
Yeah, she had like I don't know, some wipe the whole time. She's like was turning her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't want anybody to see me crying here. But she was bawling, guys. Like I'm not like little tears. Like
Like fighting them to hold back, but she couldn't.
I gave her the fucking napkin.
Yeah.
I was like, here you go. Put that on, right? Now the question is, why? That's not going to be answered here. That is going to be answered in the advanced class. It's not going to be answered here. Okay. So I already told you what I let her read was my sigil. But what brought on these tears? And were they positive or negative? Who saw her give me her phone for my number to go in there?
I did.
There you go. How long have I been gaming this girl?
About months.
Months. That was the right time. Right? And I was wondering if anybody in the environment of her coworkers saw her phone go in my hand and me punch in my fucking number for her or not. Okay? And so whatever those tears were, how do you know it's positive? Because it was after the tears that the fucking phone number was exchanged. That's how you know. Now someone needs to mute. I don't know what it is. Take a look, okay? All right. So now the chick sits down. How long do you think we talked in that little private? It was a private bubble.
Yeah.
Like suddenly her and I are separated from everybody. It's almost like if you see a force field and you can look in, but you can't touch. Isn't that true?
And I feel like if you was to try and enter that bubble, it's like almost like a violation.
Exactly. Everybody get that? That's something that is observable in the game. Look behind Rick Lamoy's head. The cat's going after some bug or something in the air. Look at that. Okay. That's awesome. Okay. Who needs to mute, guys? Let me see.
It's not us.
I got it. Okay, you got it too. All right. So now you think she's crying. She was crying. Okay. Anything else? By the way, we're running out of time. We will be back at 4. I can tell people want to talk. We'll be back today at 4 for everyone for free. Okay. More of this stuff. Right now it's his turn. Go ahead.
And at that point, I just remember you guys continued talking a little bit, and then she ended up leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting up and saying bye and whatnot. And then she leaves, and then we're still just kind of like chilling there.
Mm-hmm.
After everything that's been created, like it's that all that power is now just sitting there.
Yeah, you can feel it. It's like boom. It's almost like now in a video game, we've held the button for so long, and you go, and you're looking around to shoot this fucking thing and blow somebody up. We had a lot of power generated. That's exactly right.
And there's no ways that anybody could deny that it was there.
Yeah.
And when we left, there's no ways anybody could deny that it was there. Like
Exactly.
It's left there.
And when we left, I remember Sultan and Yogi Chris commenting, we were getting massive IOIs from this group of girls.
Yep.
You know, so by this point, as we're leaving, just so you know, the environment is watching us leave. We killed it. We killed it.
You know, everybody's open. It was open, man. Like,
The whole place was open.
yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
place was open. When you get the 10, you open up the place. That's what I know. That's what I know. Whenever I've gotten the 10, I've submitted every waiter, every waitress, everybody. Because everyone is looking at the 10. That's why the girls call the 10. Because in that environment, she holds the highest value. Right? All I needed to do was get Cosmo at fucking Spearman Rhino. Then it didn't matter how many bitches talk shit about me. That was my girlfriend when I would go see her. That's the difference. All I got to do is have Renee at Sporties and show up at Sporties. Then I have the bouncer. I have the fucking bartender. I have everyone because she's the top bitch over there. That's how it works. Well, that's how it works when you got this level of the game, right? I go for that. It's like the lion that came in and just hunted the goddamn buffalo and looked around, and that was the biggest buffalo, and there's like jackals and this and that, and everybody just measures his power and is like, okay, that's the motherfucker to be around, okay? That's what happened. The 10 opened the entire room completely. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
One thing I wanted to mention too, like taking it back a little bit
Yeah.
before like the bottles, or actually it was after the bottles came. So I think there was one bottle left to open,
Mhm.
and then there was that other waitress because she was like, "Can you open this?" The girl that he was gaming, "Can you open this?" And he was like, "You open it." And then the other waitress came and ended up opening it, and that right there was like also a moment because the girl that you was gaming was still there,
Yep.
and then the other waitress comes in, and then she mentions something about like the New Year's resolution and like what's yours.
Yeah.
And man, I can't remember word for word what you said, but all I can say is that you handled it like really
I stopped it. I let it go a little bit. Again, I've been teaching Sultan. Sultan's one of my students, one of my personal students. You know, I told him many years ago he would be where he's at. And I'm telling you right now, he's going to be one of the best players in the game. I guarantee you. Like he already is. Okay. I just know he's got the ethics level and the care level that it takes to be at the top of the world in this game. I've known this from day one about him, right? And so I let him sweat it out for a while. Because she has Sultan first. Then before she could kind of break the group, because the question she asked was, what's you guys' New Year's resolution? Start with you.
She was hella pushy too. Like,
Yeah. And start with Sultan. Now I knew that if it was going to go through, the group would start losing value. I measured, nobody had an answer for this thing. Everybody was about to hem and haw and try to do what rookies do, which sound really tough or not at all. Nobody had an answer. So once he sweated out, I stopped it by turning to her and saying, what's yours? And that changed the whole game. That's how I did. What's your resolution? And she goes, oh, mine's to be positive. I said, so how's that going so far? She goes, I said, well, today's the 5th. How's that going so far? Now my target started laughing. She started catching on. My target knows I don't like these hoes. It's part of my game with her. Part of the reason I'm getting her is clearly she knows I don't like any of her friends. None of them that work there. I've told her, can't stand these bitches.
You call that chick a bitch when you walk away?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To my target. I'm telling you that's part of the
And
conspiracy I have with her.
she laughed.
Yeah, because she knows. But I've built that. You do that, you'll see. You might get kicked out.
I can see somebody doing that online. Like, hey, ZD,
Yeah.
I call her a bitch.
Yeah. And then my target was like, you're rude. You need to
I
get
got
out.
kicked out.
Yeah. So what happened was, I go, what's yours? She goes, to be more positive. I go, yeah, how's that going? She didn't catch it. She didn't get it. So how's that going? Today's the 5th. I said, how's it going? Oh, it's going good so far. I said, would you like us to make that resolution stronger for you? You want us to test that for you, right? To keep it positive? Would you like tonight to be the night where you get stronger on the resolution? Like basically we're about to go negative on your ass, bitch. She kind of laughs, right? And she walks off, and I fucking say to the target, and everybody go, this fucking bitch. And my target laughs, right? Later on in conversation, when she came back, and when she was leaving, right, when we were talking more intimately, that showed up. It showed up that my target also has the mindset that resolutions are lame. She brought it up in regards to that girl asking that. Then I said, that's why he was laughing.
Yeah.
And that's why we were laughing. So now I made sense out of the interaction that Sultan was having with him. I said, that's why we're laughing. This is just garbage, right? So you see, she's already in the tribe, but it's been months that I've been gaming her. And that's how you game a 10 that works at a place like that. You don't push, okay? Okay, go ahead. Listen, we have about 14 minutes or 15 minutes, okay? Let's see if we can go through you.
So when we left Straits, walked to the car, we got in, and then we headed straight for Sporties. We went inside Sporties.
Sporties is a strip club, little strip club, okay? It's like in the movies.
We went to Sporties. Everyone found their seats towards the end.
How was our entrance into it? Did you get charged?
Nope.
Did you get carded?
Nope.
Okay, that was the same guy that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago gave us problems. And I told you my girlfriend went and handled him. He looked like Santa Claus last night.
That dude.
That's the guy.
Okay.
And now he was extremely respectful.
Friendly.
Oh, yeah. Beyond friendly. I show my, oh, no, come on. How many of you, 8, 9, whatever? Okay, come on in. Yeah, that's right, buddy. That's right. Okay. So then we go in.
So we go in, we sit down, we're chilling. And then I finally see Renee come over
That's my girlfriend.
and start going towards you.
Prior to that happening, some girl opened me that I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Well, how is that?
I mean, like you handle it like how you would always handle these bitches, man. Like
Mhm.
it's, I don't listen because like the you know the music and whatnot is so loud.
Mhm.
So I'm just watching the body language, both like facing directly towards you and towards the mirror that was on my right side.
Yeah.
So I get to see from different angles. But when she leaves, the first bitch that came over, then Renee comes over.
No. Renee walked up as this bitch was literally holding my hand. She wouldn't let go of my hand at first. And I was watching my girlfriend start to walk up. Okay.
I was telling Philosophy, I was like, bro, watch how he handles this.
You saw
He was a register and he was like, what? I was like, bro, look, his girl was literally walking up and there's a chick like set with him holding hands.
I'm telling you, when she was walking up, I could feel her.
Yeah,
She was growing like a lioness. I'm not
She was
kidding.
like walking like
You could feel it, right?
bro. She was
She looked like she was about to rip this chick's head
like
apart.
Terminator. or
Yeah, I felt her walk up and she's trying to keep it cool, but I could feel the vibe.
I don't miss that.
Yeah. So she walks up. I go, this is my girlfriend. And then I don't want to lose the set. Right? I say to my girlfriend, she was saying how hot I am. I was telling her I know. And then I go like this. I go to my girlfriend. I'm gonna introduce her to my group. Okay? And I tell the girl, come here. And I pull her hand.
You pass it right on to me.
I go, Cygnus, here.
Oh.
It's just literally like here. And then I go back, right? So I just hand the girl over and now I'm back. At that moment, couldn't go awkwardly, wrongly, a bunch of shit. You don't know how to, you know what I mean? But it was good. It was a lot of experience there, okay? All right. So now we're going to take it from there.
So yeah, you passed her on to us, and me and Yogi Chris are pretty much just chopping it up with her.
Palacio, doing a Palacio on her.
And then man, like even though she was there talking, I'm like trying to focus on you and Renee so I can get the vibe.
You can always be like, Yogi Chris, here you go.
Like there was a point where Yogi Chris was talking to her, and,
Yeah.
and I was just kind of like, you know, not really, because she was like standing literally in front of me.
Yeah.
Yogi Chris is right here, so as he's talking, I'm just kind of like sitting back and like,
Hey, when the value of the set to your left is more important than hot, she was actually pretty hot. Right? She was cute. She was a cutie. Like, she had a nice little body.
her name was Bambi.
Bambi.
Little Bambi eyes.
Idmob. Backwards. Bambi. It's Idmob. Okay.
So what I observed with you and Renee, man, like I never seen a connection between the stripper and like, you know, like
A trick? I ain't no trick.
Yeah.
I ain't no trick. I ain't no trick. Uh-huh.
and like the comparison with that the black stripper, I think, who went
Yeah.
to those 3 Indians.
Yeah.
This was before Renee came over.
So tell them what you see, because that's what they need to get. What is that connection? What are you observing that's different? This is what you guys have to see. Then you'll know the difference between a real IOI and a fake IOI.
So what I observe with those three Indians is they don't know how to handle her, like at all. And like I said, I can't hear what they're saying, but just based off what like she was doing to them, because I remember one of them put like her leg over the Indian shoulders.
These guys are getting swallowed. It looked like they looked like three little prey, and the stripper came out and was like almost like an alien movie where she opened up and she looked like like a fig. Have you had a fig? You know what a fig is? If you bite a fig, it's got these like little fucking. It looks like that. The stripper looked to me like her face went. Like Predator, or like the Stranger Things or whatever. If you've seen those fucking creatures.
Demogorgon.
Yeah, she looked like Demogorgon. Okay.
So then, she leaves, and then all three of them look at each other, giving each other that look, like,
oh hey.
Yeah, it's a disappointing look. But so that happens. You know, Renee comes over. Babby comes to me and Yogi Chris. Or no, let me rephrase that. You pass her on to me and Yogi Chris. Start chopping it up. And I'm observing you and Renee, and just like the private bubble that's being formed.
Yeah.
Like no other strippers are coming in and trying to budge in. Like no other guys are like. And I'm just thinking to myself how everybody who's like kind of like Homicide Straits, how everybody who's witnessing it is like internally handling it. Some of them may be jealous.
That's right.
Some of them may be like, I don't fucking know.
But you could tell it's a different interaction taking place.
Big time.
And so what's different about it? That's what I'm trying to get across. What was different? What made you go, what the fuck? Like, what is that connection? What is that? How do you know there's a connection? We didn't make out. I barely touched her. You know what I mean? What is it? She'll probably touch another guy way more than she'll touch me in there. Just so you know. I don't want to be touched by her in there. I don't like it. But what are you observing? And this is for him also. Because that's the invisible thread everyone's got to find.
Let's see. Well, the words that come to my mind is just some intimate connection.
But it's hard to say what it is.
Yeah, it's like that's the best way I can describe it for now.
Yeah.
But like I know that's probably not the right words to use, but like as of right now, like what I'm feeling and seeing is like some sort
I think you're right. It is an intimacy. That's the thing. Her and I have not had sex yet. Just so you know. Okay. But there's almost like a wife-husband intimacy taking place over there. This is my bitch for sure. That's how I know. Right? That's how you know sex is happening. And you know what? I'm letting you know right now. I saw it last night. It's happening within the next few months, for sure. I know. I know for sure now. Okay? It's going to take place very soon. All right? So, okay. Anything else about that interaction? Or the whole night or whatever, you know?
Yeah. So once you finish creating that vortex in there and we leave, it's funny you mentioned how that was the security guy that she handled, because as we were leaving, he's like, okay, have a good night. Shaking everybody's hands. We're walking out like in a straight line.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking bosses.
He says to me, good to see you, sir. I'm like, I'm that motherfucker last year. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Right? Good to see you, sir. Okay, Santa Claus is a big old jolly guy with the fucking red sweatshirt on, looking like a Santa Claus became a fucking bouncer.
Christmas is done. That's why.
Christmas is done.
So then we leave, we get into the car, and as we're heading back, you start talking about this force that's there, but you don't know what it is. And as I'm like listening to you speak about it and whatnot, it starts to resonate within myself to a point where like I'm familiar with this, and even I can't describe what that is.
Exactly.
You know, and
it's the force that brings IMC Nation here. I'm telling you guys, it's greater than me, but it's part of me.
And as you're describing it and whatnot, and you were saying like this feeling that I know this force is giving to me. I'm paraphrasing here. This feeling that I know that this force is giving to me, I want to be able to give it to other people, the people that I love, you know, family, girlfriends and whatnot. And then that brought up my own question, like, how do you give it to someone like that? Because I know you can feel it, but like giving it is probably like a different. It's hard to do almost, because the person may not even want it, you know. And it just gave me something to think about and reflect over. And we came back, you know, we just well, we didn't debrief, but you know, we all did our thing before lockdown.
Mhm.
You know, so I would say it was a damn successful night.
Yeah, you feel different this morning?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, very nice. That's how it works, everyone. It's through the experiences, okay? It was great having you. So I actually, before I went to bed, you know that feeling, that conversation, I wrote something. I captured it in these words, calling it the guiding force of my life. So this was the conversation at the end of the night. In the quiet moments of my days, I feel the comforting presence of a higher power, a benevolent force, which is a very kind, a benevolent force that has guided me since my earliest memories. It's as if a cosmic guardian has woven through the fabric of my life, ensuring that every desire I had found its way to me, and every obstacle was but a stepping stone to my growth. In the face of challenges, I draw strength from the belief that I am not alone. This unwavering faith empowers me to navigate through the ebb and flow of life with resilience. You're going to hear that word from me a lot. Resilience is the ability to bounce back. Okay, and I believe that's one of the strongest abilities I have that I never even measured. I'm measuring it. I don't break for very long. I just bend and I come right back with a little bamboo tree. Even through uncertainties, there's a profound sense of assurance that things will unfold as they should, orchestrated by this divine force. Every achievement, every setback is a part of a grander plan laid out by this cosmic companion. It's a comforting rhythm, a dance between my aspirations and the cosmic plan that shaped my destiny. Through highs and lows, I'm enveloped in a sense of love and protection, creating an unshakable foundation for my journey. The essence of my days is interwoven with gratitude as I reflect on the blessings bestowed upon me. It's not just about receiving what I want, but understanding that each experience, be it joy or hardship, is a gift from this guiding force, a gift that molds me into the person that I'm meant to be. In the quiet moments of reflection, I acknowledge the presence that has been my constant companion. It's a source of peace, an invisible thread connecting me to something greater, making every step of my journey a guided and purposeful exploration of life's intricate design. You see this? This will be used today on women, just like the sigil was used yesterday. This will be sent to different women. They will read it in set with me, and it's my task to create the situation for them to read what I wrote. Now, is that not what we were talking about last night in the car?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying last night in the car. And then taking the time to put the syntax, what I call a sacred syntax, this art, to put together the words in a way that move people, is what we got right here. So, any final statements? I gotta go.
Yeah. One another thing that
And a message to everyone, man. Seriously,
Yeah.
right as your brothers.
So the biggest message that I can give is, like, when you're out there, like, whether you're alone, but better to be inside of a group, like as a tribe. The more certain everybody is, like with their own self, the more certain everybody's gonna be within the tribe, and then the more energy that's gonna be created. You know, like, I think inside one of the other lectures you were speaking about certainty, and like certainty is something that everybody wants. You know,
Did you see it? Do you see it last night?
hell yeah.
Am I certain?
Mm-hmm.
Is the scene seems certain as we move. There, everybody get it? And the opposite of that is measured. The opposite of that is measured also. You see that? Uncertainty is quickly measured. Every animal feels it. Good.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Certainty.
All right, bro. This is my gift to you. True block glasses. True light block. Yeah, they're not just blue blockers, okay? All right, enjoy them. Okay, Phoenix, you got something to say before we go? Let's go for it, bro. I got 4 minutes. The mighty Phoenix, what do you got? Os.
Just an info.
Yeah.
I went to that shopping center and I was gaming a girl behind a counter. Gave her my number. She's texted me back. She wants to do a podcast show.
Fuck yeah.
But in front of it, it's like a jewelry shop that sells like esoteric jewelry, copper beads like we were in that.
Yeah.
And they've got this big fancy couch in front of the shop.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking I'm actually going to set to do my interviews on the couch.
Wow.
And then just pull people walking by.
Oh, that's
and then
good.
also I get them to sponsor the show by letting me wear their jewelry and stuff.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. I like that you keep creating with what you have, and it just keeps expanding, bro. It's very nice. Very nice.
And then the girl that wanted to have my baby, put her in a time bubble, she just came back last night.
Yeah, they always come back if you handle yourself right. Well, congratulations on all that. Nice. Okay, guys, we're going to be ending. We're going to come back at 4 because we had some real players in the house last night. We'd like to get their perspective, what they learned. So if we come back at 4, you guys, let's try to end it by 5 so we have enough time to get ready for infield and shit like that. And think about maybe a few things you learned or a few things you earned or whatever the fuck it is. Let me end it with a few minutes of talking about this. Like that writing said it all. I tell you honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't know how I'm doing what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I do know afterwards, looking back, exactly what I did. And that's why I value so much talking about it. It's not just the mystery method. It's not just language. It's those things are being used by me to do stuff. And 99.99% of the reason why people can't accomplish what I'm accomplishing or get close to it is because they're looking at that. There's not a line I can give you. There's not an opener I can give you. There's not a technique I can give you. But all lines, all techniques are used by me as needed. And that essence of that, the essence of that is what I'm trying to communicate. What I call the AZD process or IMC Nation. These writings that I'm doing are pointing closer to it. They're getting closer. My words are getting closer to it. And they open up something inside a person when they read it. That's why it's called the sacred syntax. Like something happens when people read this stuff. Our ability to communicate and stay sharp, stay present, stay focused is everything. Everything. But more than that, to awaken the beast within, which is our camp still, we're still going, we still have time on it. Most likely, after this weekend coming up, LA, we'll go to the next one. That's what it seems to me like it's taking place. Because there'll be so much information I'm going to share there, and it's going to have to move on to the next thing, which is the art, how we're going to do the art of this, okay? But the most important thing is knowing exactly where you're going and what you want. And those are related. Someone goes, well, how do I know where I'm going? Start with what you want and take everybody out of it for a minute. What do you want? Don't diminish, make less your desires. Don't make it less. I believe your deepest inspirations come from in God I trust. Now, I can't prove God. I just can't prove God. But like I was telling him last night, I went to use the bathroom in the strip club. I'm peeing. First of all, my piss was stuck because I was holding it for so long. You ever stand there like, come on, man. You know, it's like kind of spurting out, like, come on, dude. I don't want to be in a fucking bathroom in the strip club. Or like, I start getting images of like the movies I watch, Best of the Best. Like, what if I just hear them fighting now? I'm like, oh, fuck, and pull up my fucking pants and get out there, right? That's going through my mind last night. But I'm standing there pissing and talking to God. I'm looking at, I create magical experiences for myself. I can't guarantee for others, but for myself, I do. And I wouldn't trade my life for any person. Nowhere, anywhere. Seriously, I mean, like, God, I really don't want to be anybody else. I want to be me. There's something about truly caring and being kind, and at the same time, being fearless and powerful. Because when I think about people like Jesus or Muhammad or any of the prophets, Buddha, whether they were real or not, I don't know. Am I going to be real in 100 years when they talk about me? In 200 years from now? How about 2,000 years from now when they talk about AZD and IMC Nation? Am I going to sound fake? Maybe. I'm real now. So I don't know if these people are real or not. But I do know that all of these individuals, they were truly fearless. All of them were fearless. And to me, fearless doesn't mean having the courage. I was just teaching this to my girlfriends. I think courage and fear are the same thing. They're the same coin. I think the thing that defeats fear is trust. If you want to be fearless the way I'm fearless, is trust. See, if you trust your dog, you know your dog's not going to bite you. But if I don't trust your dog, I think your dog might bite me. I know that when I get into some sort of a trust with this thing that I'm trying to put into words, that I feel around me, even right now, that brings everything together for me. It could be my imagination. I don't, but that's the thing. I don't know what it is. It's right on the edge of my awareness. It's right there. And my tap-in process is to stay trusting in that. Knowing that the night will unfold exactly as it needs to. My challenge is when I see a person I love so much pissing blood being taken to the emergency room. It's in that moment that my heart constricts inside. And I go, yes, faith is what I'm saying also, another word for it. These are just words that point to a feeling or something we know. It's at that moment that my trust or my faith gets tested. And I feel powerless. What am I going to do for Jessica right now? Okay? But as my heart begins to constrict, I know that I need to somehow open it. That same opening and closing is that trust I have in something higher. Now, should I be lying to myself? Should I be fooling myself? Should I be whatever? I'm still willing to do that, because if I had a son, which is how I process things in my life, if I had a son, I would tell him, son, if you had the choice to believe the way your father did, that there was something higher around him, always taking care of him, son, choose that. Whether you're right or wrong, live as such. In your highest moments, live with that. In your lowest moments, live with that. When you're the proudest, live with that. When you're the weakest, live with that. It's almost like this too shall pass. The ring, this too shall pass. That saying. For me, this too shall pass doesn't affect me. Those words, they don't make me feel anything. I think that they're cool, but they're not my song. But to know that I was brought into this life by the love of a mother and a father that somehow took care of me when I didn't know how to take care of myself is all the evidence I need that I was supposed to be here somehow. Whether someone wanted to abort me or not, I'm here. And somehow there was enough love at a moment in my life where I couldn't do nothing besides piss and shit in my own pants and cry. Somehow it got me to a point where I can now take care of myself. If all I could do was repay life for that, just so I can experience the rest of life, then I've been taken care of already enough. Now it's time for me to take care of others. And this thought is enough for me to have everything that I want. And I do know this, when you have what you have, it accumulates more of what you want. That's the way it is. That's the law of vibration. That's the law of attraction. So you will have more of what you have. If you have poverty, you shall be more poor.